Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, there's no use sugarcoating things. The world's in a crazy place right now. For most of us, our only recourse is to stay at home, to stay away from public places as much as possible. And while it is one of the most effective tools in getting the world under control, for skateboarders, it has completely changed the dynamic of how we do what we do. Now, I'm thankful enough that I live in a small suburb. I can wax a curb. I have a flat bar. I just built myself a box recently. But a lot of skateboarders don't even have that. I've seen lots of videos of people carpetboarding in their basements, skating 20 square feet of flat in their garages. Skateboarders are resilient. Where there's a will, there's a way. But that being said, I wanted to do my part and maybe help those of you out there get a little bit more creative. So I'm putting up a trick tip video. Now, for those of you who don't have a lot of space to work with, trying to work on grinds, manuals is difficult. And there's a million tutorials out there on flip tricks. So today, I'm going to show you something that I have a bit of an area of expertise on, and that is Boneless One and a few of the easiest variations thereof. Now, before we get started, I am going to give everyone a quick caveat. I am 34 years old and not in the best shape, so the recent footage that I have may not paint me as the best person to teach these maneuvers to you. But trust me when I say that in the 20 years I've been skating, I've been doing bonelesses for a very, very long time. So with that in mind, let's get started. Trick number 1, the classic boneless one. Now, bonelesses have a reputation in terms of being an easy and sometimes a dork trick. But when done well, they can look outstanding. The first thing you're going to want to do is know how to bomb drop. And that is to just jump on your skateboard. Now, this is something that you can work on in the grass, it's something you can work on standing still, and it's something you can work on moving. Regardless, you're going to want to make sure that you are comfortable holding your board in your hand, jumping as high as you can, and throwing your board underneath before you go any farther. Now, for the building blocks for the classic boneless one, what you're going to want to do is stand with your front foot on your front bolts and your back foot on your tail. The best way to learn the motion of this trick is to take it nice and slow. So get yourself into a tail stop by putting all of your weight on your back foot. Then step your front foot off on your heel side rail. The traditional boneless one is grabbed front side. So you're going to take your rear hand and grab the toe side rail of your board. From here, pick your board up and make sure that back foot stays on. When you're ready, you're going to throw your board back down, step on, and roll away. The next trick we're going to look at is the slob bonus. For this, you're essentially doing the same thing you're doing with the boneless one, but you're grabbing with your front hand. Grabbing slob, which is grabbing with your front hand on your toe edge and turning front side, is for many people a much more comfortable position, and so it lends itself well to a boneless variation. Trick number 3 is the bean plant. Now, the bean plant gets its name because it's a truncation of two tricks, a boneless and a lean air. For this one, you're going to be setting up a little bit differently, but still with the same basic principle as the last two. This time, after you step off, you're going to be reaching your front hand and grabbing along your heel edge. Now, with all three of your basic boneless variations, the next step after you get the base motions down is to figure out how to jump back on the board before putting it back down on the ground. This is just going to come with confidence and practice. Finally, you're going to be taking out the tail stop by trying to smooth up all of the motions, until finally you can roll everything into one quick pop. Trick number 4 is going to take all the fundamentals you learned from the 3 basic boneless variations and expand on them a little bit. This is the bean plant slide. Now, to start to learn this one, you're going to be doing the same basic motions as you did when you were first learning how to bean plant. But instead of picking your board up, all you're going to do is take a little bit of weight off your back foot and drag the tail along the ground. From there, you're basically doing the same thing as you're doing when refining your boneless, slob boneless, and bean plant, and that is smoothing the whole process up. Finally, for number 5, we have the boneless tail block 360. Now, I know this one sounds like a mouthful and it probably looks very complicated, but believe me when I tell you that this is one of the easiest boneless variations out there. Now for this, you're going to want a pretty good grasp on your standard boneless one. Now when you're learning your boneless, you're going to notice that you have a tendency to go front side, and on this trick, that is going to help immensely. When you're first learning it, you're going to take your standard boneless motion, the same thing as you were doing when you were learning everything else, but you're going to turn your shoulders front side. You're also going to grab both front side with your rear hand between your toes, and nose grab with your front hand grabbing the nose of the board. Once your body has turned 180, you're going to put your weight back down on the ground, but you're going to keep your hands on the board. Using your front foot for leverage, you're going to turn your shoulders around and pull the board up the same way you are on the bean plant slide. Because your shoulders are already rotating, you'll complete the 180 and you can get your foot back on the board. Now, as with every single trick I've outlined, the key here is just figuring out the motions and doing them more and more until everything seems as smooth as possible. After you've got these 5 basic boneless variations down, the possibilities are endless. You can start throwing in varials. You can try spinning 180 or 360 in the air. You can try different variations like the around the world. Mine needs work. You can even learn how to boneless over, into, and onto things. Try your local curb if you have one. Alright everybody, so that's the boneless and some of its most simple variations. Like I said, these are tricks that you can learn on a patch of concrete, on the grass, even in the basement on your carpet board. I encourage you to give them a try. Go ahead, post them all over your social media, and then tag me in them because I really want to see them. I love bonelesses and I love boneless variations, and hopefully this trick tip will help you love them too. Alright, before I go, I just want to do a few quick shout-outs. Of course, I want to thank Fuel Clothing for hooking me up with amazing gear year-round. They should be rolling out their spring line soon, so keep an eye on that. I want to thank Street Plant. For the keen watcher, you would notice that I was using the Blake Sacker 9.5 Street Plant board. This thing is a beast, but let me tell you, it is great for old school tricks. And I encourage you to check out the site and see if they have anything that might tickle your fancy. Finally, if you're looking for some entertainment that's a little less physical, I'm a fantasy author. if that's something you might be interested in. My 4-book series, the Four Kingdoms Saga, is currently on the Kindle store for just 99 cents a book. If that's something you might be interested in, go ahead, check them out. Alright, that's going to do it for now. So, until next time, stay safe out there, and keep skating hard.